Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidina wa Nabiyana Habib Ilahi Rabbil Alameen Abil Qasim al Mustafa Muhammad Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa alayhi tayyibin at-tahirin al-ma'sumin al-mazlumin wa la'natu ad-da'im ala a'da'ihim ajma'in min alan ila qiyam yawm ad-din. أما بعد فقد قال أمير المؤمنين علي بن أبي طالب عليه السلام في وصيته: أوصيك بتقوى الله وإقام الصلاة لوقتها وإيتاء الزكاة في محلها عند محلها وأوصيك بمغفرة الذنب وكظم الغيظ وصلة الرحم والحلم عند الجاهل والتفقه في الدين وتثبت في الأمر وتعهد للقرآن وحسن الجوار والأمر بالمعروف والنهي عن المنكر واجتناب الفواحش كلها في كل ما أوصي الله في very short wasiyat of Hazrat Ali alayhi salam after he was injured on the 19th night. Like we said, there are about 20 wasiyat of Hazrat Ali after he was injured. 10 wasiyat of Hazrat Ali is in regards to the ghusl and kafan and where he should be buried, the money that he has left behind, what should happen with that. Okay? Wasiyat means, alaykum salam, wasiyat means a will. Somebody writes a will before he dies. You know, he tells people, he tells his children before dying, this is what you should carry out. Okay, that's called will. That's called wasiyat. So there are about 20 wasiyat after he was injured on the 19th. So in the 3-day span where Hazrat Ali was in pain, was suffering, was unconscious, was coming back to conscious, he was telling his children this wasiyat. So out of 20 wasiyat, there are about 10 wasiyat which are moral wasiyat, meaning that which talks about akhlaq, which talks about taqwa, things which are dealing with person's behavior and hereafter. And the 10 wasiyat is peculiar to his ghusl kafan and stuff. Now this wasiyat is a very short wasiyat where he says to his children, Usika bi taqwallah, be God wary, be God conscious. Because taqwa is the foundation of everything, brothers and sisters. You know, if taqwa, we should really ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He provides us with this great quality of taqwa. You know, we should have that in us. It is like a yardstick with the inside. Everything should be measured with that. It's like an asa. It's like a support and help. Right? We have to increase that. That becomes the source of all goodness. Hudal lil muttaqeen. And as we're going to talk about tafaqquh fi deen, it is very much required by us to spend some time reading. Khutbah muttaqeen of Amirul Mu'mineen. What a great opportunity to really, okay, Moulana is talking about wasiyat of Amirul Mu'mineen. Let's have a discussion circle on khutbah muttaqeen, about taqwa. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. Or let's read about it individually. I mean, alhamdulillah, we read a lot, huh? We used to think that reading has been marginalized. No, reading has not been marginalized. We read a lot, but we don't read book. We read text messages. Reading is part and parcel of our life today. In previously, now we have to talk olden days, that's a very long time ago. Our parents or father or even us, morning newspaper was a must. सुबह में अखबार ज़रूरी होता था. सुबह आते जो अखबार, और माफ़ी चाहता हूँ मिंबर पे बैठा हूँ, मगर वो अखबार लो कि कोई चले जाए तो फिर वो नॉक करते रहना कि बाहर लिखे हमें भी जाना है वही बाथरूम। आजकल अखबार नहीं है, वो ये है, ये बस बैठे हैं, बस यही चला है अखबार। So reading, we do read now, alhamdulillah, that's very good. Reading is very positive. We should install reading in our children. They should read a lot of books. They should they should buy books. They should read books. We have to really give them the reading culture to our youth, to our children. Instead of buying games or Xbox or toys, always buy books. Buy toys, I'm not saying don't buy them. You should buy it. But at the same time, when you go for buying a toy, go through the books that are there as well. Perhaps you might not buy it, but just spend 2 minutes there. In that shop, when you go in the toy shop, spend some time looking at the books. Just read the cover of it. You don't have to buy it, but read the cover of it. That's how you should, bring the habit of reading, looking at the book covers, the pictures in there. That's good. So we do read, but unfortunately, our reading methods or our reading material have changed. We should read that thing which we will benefit from, that we really learn from. A mu'min is the one whose day that has gone is not equal to the day that he is in. Or, I might be making a mistake in quoting the hadith. The meaning of the hadith is this, that a mu'min will not have two same days. Yeah, this is the translation. The mu'min will not have two similar days. Every day a mu'min will learn something new. So every day a mu'min will learn something, right? So have I really learned something new today? I don't know. Yes, I might have been reminded of those things which I have learned earlier. For example, taqwa is good. Yes, I was reminded about it. But did I learn something new? I should really learn something new every day. Right? That's a moment. So our reading exists in our community, but the style of reading, the method of reading, and the material of reading, unfortunately, have been changed. Previously, they will read something that will benefit them, that will educate them. I remember in Qom, the shopkeepers will not open their shop unless they have a mubahase in the ahkam of tijarat. In the morning, 7 to 8, in the haram of Hazrat Masuma, they will have a mubahasa. Dar mored tijarat, ahkam tijari, rulings in regards to business. After that, 7 to 8 of a discussion with the asatid, with the teachers in regards to halal and haram of business transaction. 8 o'clock, they will go open the stores. Atraf dawre haram, the stores that are atraf haram. That's tafaqquh fi din. See, fiqahat. Faqih. Yes, faqih is a person who have perhaps, our imagination is mushtahid, amama. Tafaqquh, faqih, it doesn't mean it comes with a luggage, with a coating, with a package. A person who is knowledgeable in deen, a person who educates himself in ahkam, what is halal and what is haram, that is called tafaqquh. That means that one is trying to gain knowledge of fiqh. Fiqh is translated as profound understanding. The translation of fiqh. Fiqh means profound understanding. So tafaqquh means to gain profound understanding. Tafaqquh, gain profound understanding of what? Hazrat Amir is saying, at-tafaqquh fi deen. Gain the profound understanding of your religion. The problem that the Muslim Ummah face today, the problem that the ikhtilaf that we have today, is because that people do not have a profound understanding of deen. That's what the Prophet said. My back have been broken by two people. The scholars who have the knowledge, but they cover up. They cover things. They don't relay and they don't inform. They hide. And the other muqaddas numa, the other people who are not knowledgeable, but they are religious. And they fool others because of their taqdees, because of their sort of religiosity. People think that, oh, mashallah, he's so religious and pious. He doesn't know anything about deen. People go and ask him, he says something. Right? And then that makes the whole thing problematic. These Khawarij, those who looked as if that they had marks on their forehead. Their knees and their toes had marks of sajda. They say, La hukma illa lillah, only the hukum of Allah. They want to listen. So religious, Hafiz of Quran, Tahajjud Guzar. They will not miss night prayers. But were they faqih in deen, where they had that profound understanding of religion? No. As they did not, they went against Amirul Mu'mineen, Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So therefore, no matter what, we have to engage ourselves in increasing the knowledge of our ahkam. Tafaqqu fi deen. Hazrat Amirul, this wasiyat of Hazrat Ali alayhi salam is not for mujtahideen. It's not for maraje, saying that have tafaqqu fi deen. No. This wasiyat is for all of us. Tafaqqu fi deen, having profound knowledge of deen, is not only for religious, ulama or scholars, that they should go to Qom or Najaf and study and have tafaqqu in deen. No, it is for you and I here. It's for all of us here. It is an obligation. Imam Sadiq alayhi salam says, I wish that I could whip the youth and you. I could do that. I wish I could do that. I would have done that. And I would have teach you ahkam. It's very important to know ahkam. Our practice, our amal, a person, misal, example, bichare, misfortune person, praying salat, ahkam wuzu nahi aata hai usko, namaz ho rahi hai, ahkam wuzu pata nahi wuzu kis tarah se karna chahiye. Baba bichare namaz 10 saal, 20 years prayed namaz, but what type of wuzu? Like that, for example. पानी ही तो है, ऐसा डाले क्या फर्क पड़ेगा ना बाबा, makes difference. It's just water is washing. What does the difference that it make? I go stand under the shower. It's ghusl. That's what it is. Cleaning yourself. Ahkam ghusl. Sometimes we ask when we are saying ma'loom. You know what? When we say ma'loom, right? When we are doing aqd, when we are doing nikah, the Moulanas, they speak to each other. They say, Maloom, ha, Maloom, ye qurbani hone ke liye ja raha hai, Maloom. This person is going to be slaughtered now. Maloom, yes, Maloom. Right? So, when 32, 27, do you know how to do ghusl, brother? No, I don't know. Oh my God. You're about to get married now. Ghusl can become wajib, and ghusl was wajib on you. You did ziyarat? Oh yes. You did hajj? Oh yes. Ahkam ghusl. So ahkam tafaqqu fi deen, it's very important. We have to engage, we have to, educate ourselves in regards to ahkam. We have to have that profound understanding of our deen. As it says, Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. فضل الفقي على العابد كفضل الشمس على الكواكب. The fazilat of an faqih, a person who have the knowledge of fiqh, of deen, who is considered as a faqih, upon an abid, upon a person who is abid, a person who worships a lot. is like a sun to the star. How sun is so bright, it provides us light, right? The example is from that point of view. Not that, okay, don't criticize the example saying that the stars are also sun and they are much brighter than this sun that we have. No, not that point of view. From the point of view that how bright and how big and how huge the sun is shining compared to some of these stars that we see that are far. They might be big and bright, but I'm saying the example is from that angle. So an abid compared to rakatun yusalliha al-faqih afdalu min sab'ina alfa rakatin yusalliha al-abid. Right? One rakat of a faqih is better than afzal, than sab'ina alfa rakatin, than 70,000 rakats of an abid. So a person who have the knowledge of ahkam and deen and he's performing it. And a person doesn't know, he's just performing it. His one rakat is better. Tafaqquh fi deen is that. You know, when a person is performing that, he has knowledge of it. He knows what it is. Because he has the understanding that he's saying that ahkam is the embodiment of the will of Allah. That's what ahkam is. When I'm learning ahkam, this ahkam is not till the time that we go to the grave. Or ahkam are there till a person goes to the grave for himself, that he has to practice ahkam till he dies. Or for others to practice ahkam till he goes in the grave, meaning that ghusl, kafan and all that. Both ways. But ahkam, it is not till there. It is even after that as well. Because what is ahkam? Ahkam is a irade ilahi. That's what it is. Allah wants it this way. Allah wants it this way means that, and the will of Allah is will, one. It's not like Allah wants in the dunya this way, Allah wants it in the akhirat the opposite. No. There's one will. So ahkam even continues after we die. Dunya is the place where we familiarize ourselves, where we educate ourselves with that ahkam which is required as a base for the hereafter. So if we do not educate ourselves of the ahkam, in this dunya we will be educated, we will be given education of ahkam in barzakh. And that is more painful. For example, I'm in high school. I, for example, was in the village. They brought me here. My age is 17. I came here as a refugee or whatever. They put me in high school. Now, I'm at the age of 17. I don't know how to read. They will put me in the nursery. It's very painful. Right? So I'm in barzakh now. In barzakh, I should be someone who knows the ahkam all. Because I was given the opportunity. Where the Imam is saying that I'd like to whip them and teach them ahkam. It's so important. So that means when I have reached to the age of leaving this dunya, I should have a good understanding of deen, of tawheed, of certain concepts such as ismat, such as qiyamat, justice and adalat. I should be outside all doubts, out of all doubts. An iman tubashiru bihi qalbi. That's what we ask, right? An iman, that sort of iman that is very close to my heart, my belief system, that I really believe in it. Still, I'm at the age of, for example, 80, 85. I say, I'm not sure God is just or not. I'm not sure, for example, there is qiyamah or not. Right? Obviously, this person, when he enters barzakh, he will face a lot of repercussions. He will be refined, he will be taught, he will be given a lot of trouble. The same way as a 17-year-old in a kindergarten. He has to go through a lot. But at the same time, his dimagh, his mind is a child that is educated at that young age, learns very quickly, grasps very quickly. So a mind that is in this dunya learns about Tawheed very easily, can educate himself about ahkam, about recitation of the Quran in a much more comfortable environment, in a much of an ease, in a much of at an ease and easily, compared to that he be taught in barzakh by the whips of the angels. Nauzubillah, may Allah protect us all. Right? So that's what ahkam is. Tafaqquh fi deen is that. When Imam is saying that, one should really educate oneself. لِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ إِمَادٌ. Everything have a pillar. وَإِمَادُ هَذَا الدِّينِ الْفِقْهِ. The pillar of this deen, of this religion, is fiqh. एक नया सिलसिला चला है. It's a new trend that we are seeing. मुश्तहिदीन के खिलाफ, मराजों के खिलाफ, फकीह के खिलाफ. They don't know what faqih, who is a mushtahid and who is a faqih. They say, oh, this mushtahideen, maraje, fiqh is something new. Abajan, about fiqh, in dua we recite, Allahumma arzuqni ijtihad al-mushtahideen. Dua of Rajab we say. The Imam is asking, oh Allah, provide me with the ijtihad of mushtahideen. Now today we see people say, oh, ijtihad haram hai, or pata nahi ye mushtahideen kahan se aa gaye, wo akhbari hai, or ye hai, or falan hai, this and that and the other. Baba, this is like fiqh, fiqahat, ijtihad. Time of the Imams we are talking about. The text that we have is from the time of the Imam. It's not something that have been, na'udhu billah, invented or created by the scholars to fill their pockets, as they tend to disrespect the maraji in that sense of the word. No, ijtihad and fiqh and fiqahat, we are talking about, this hadith is, and it's from the Masumeen. The fiqh, the word of fiqh is used in the Quran. Why don't from you a person goes and have tafaqqo in deen? Educate yourself in deen, have that profound knowledge in deen. So fiqh has been there. It's not just somebody who came and he made up things just for their own benefit. لا خير في إبادة ليس فيها تفقه. There is no khair in ibadat unless or until there is tafaqqu, there is that profound understanding. That important, that we have to educate ourselves. Tafaqqu is not the responsibility of a mujtahid or a scholar, it's the responsibility of each and every one of you, that you educate yourself in regards to your deen. You dedicate some time during the week, during the day, during the month. The centers should be the place where they should carry out workshops in which they teach deen. Tafaqqu fil Quran, even in Quran, having that profound understanding of Quran, profound understanding of aqaid, tafaqqu in aqaid, profound understanding of ahkam. The center should provide that, and we should engage in such a discussions and debates and educate ourselves. It is a responsibility. As it says that تفقه في الدين الله فإن الفقه مفتاح البصيرة وتمام الإبادة والسبب إلى منازل الرفية والرتب الجليلة في الدين والدنيا. تفقه في الدين. Educate yourself in religion, because this is the key for basirat, for that insight. If one gains that knowledge, then he will have an insight to deen. What is the deen is really trying to say. Tafakkur, I gave an example this Friday, for example, in the Jummah khutbah. Prioritizing things. Namaz is what? Wajib. Saving life is what? Wajib. Now I'm about to pray and my namaz is about to qada, right? Lapse. Now somebody is drowning. Am I supposed to pray here or am I supposed to save the life here? Now, how will I discern? What will be my basis? Whatever I think I should do, Baba, namaz ke male khudas, it's wajib, it's about Allah. I will be in trouble. He is dying, let him die. What am I supposed to do? My namaz, I will be punished if I don't pray. It will be qaza for me. So I will. But is this the right way of deducting and analyzing just based upon something that I think? This becomes an opinion. This becomes qiyas, for example, which is haram. In our school of thought, qiyas is haram. We have to have tafakkur. We have to have that profound understanding. Why am I doing it? What is the reason behind it? If I have that knowledge, then I will have the basirat of deen. What the deen is really asking me to do. What is the purpose of deen? If the purpose of deen is that I do tahajjud, I pray. We have Khawarij, they also worship. They also pray tahajjud. If that is deen, if ibadat, if we think that is called ibadat, they are doing that as well, right? Having a profound understanding, tafakkur of deen will bring about basirat. They were raising Qur'ans on the spears, and they say, "Oh, we will not fight with them. If we fight, the Qur'an will fall on the floor. Oh, we have to respect the Qur'an." So they stopped. On one side, Amirul Mu'minin is saying, "Let's go fight. Al-Haqqu ma'al Ali wa Ali wal ma'al Haqq." And Haqq turns wherever Ali turns. Do you know that, people? Oh, yes, we know that. But the Qur'an is here. Who is Ali? He's the Khalifa. He's the representative. Whatever Khalifa says, we have to listen. Yes, we have to listen. But how can we? Is the Quran there? So if a person have tafakkur, if he has that profound understanding, that insight, then only he will be able to, have the basirat, have that deeper understanding of deen and the purpose of it. And what will happen? Wa tamamul ibadah. And this is what it is, all of ibadat is this. And it is the sabab, it is the reason of achieving or having a lofty station and maqam that is special. Jaleel. Tawern. Maqam is through tafakkur. That's why you look at it. Our maraji, the ubuhat, maqam and status that they have because of tafakkur. They have any mal, dunya? No. But they have that tafakkur, yes. Inshallah, yes, I will point out to how we could practically, improve our understanding of ahkam. Yeah, our maraje, because of tafakkur, because of that basirat, because of that knowledge, is ubuhat. That maqam, that jaleel, that lofty station that they have. Whether a person accepts Islam or not, whether have respect for Islam or not, but once he enters that space, that room, that company, he feels something from inside. He feels very little in front of this great personality, like Ayatollah Sistani or Imam Khomeini. It's been mentioned in regards to him, for example, right? No matter the foreign minister of Russia, goes in front, trembles, can't really control himself. Because of that tafakkur, that maqam is Allah allotted and gave them, right? Because of that fiqh, automatically a person is influenced by the presence of these personalities because of what they say is Arafi or Rutbul Jalila fi Deen wa Dunya. They will have that great maqam in the Deen and Dunya. It is in regards to a faqih The hadith says that if he dies, there will be a crack in the bunya, in the building of Islam. It is not in regards to you and I, no common person or woman dies. Indeed, it is very sad. It affects. Mu'mineen are affected by it. But for faqih, the hadith says the building of Islam, and a crack comes in that, and that crack is not filled by anything else. It's for faqih, it's for fuqaha. How much respect that the Islam and the hadith is paying in regards to them. The hadith says that make dua that Allah provides you, profound understanding in deen. There are du'as for that. Like as the brother was mentioning that, what are the ways, can we do? There are du'as for that. That we should ask that tafaqquh is provided to us in our deen, in our religion. Problems that we face within the community is because of that. Problems that we face within the household is because of that. We do not have a good understanding of ahkam, and we think that is it. And we are so rigid, we are become so arrogant about it that it's not possible. We need that insight of it, the deeper understanding of it. Obviously, we tend to become critical of, or we tend to disrespect or take it as light if there be any difference of opinion existing amongst the fuqaha. I mean, the fiqh that we have today, the ulama and the scholars, those who have taken pains today, they have done a fascinating and amazing job to really protect the ahkam. We are so proud in regards to our fiqh, regards to our maraji and ulama, that we could say that yes, our ahkam is based upon the teachings of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam and Quran. Although there might be some difference of opinion existing, but we could base that on. The door of ijtihad is open, although the imam is in major occultation, but still the imams, they themselves have provided us with a methodology in fiqh by which we could survive, by which we could carry on and be a practicing Muslim in this modern world today. Because the door of ijtihad is open for us. That's why the Ahl Sunnah brothers are lamenting that the door of ijtihad is closed. Now when they want to open the door of ijtihad, look what type of ijtihad they are doing. Islamic State. This is their ijtihad. This is what they have reached. This is their ijtihad now. But for us, it's something else. We are flying in a different universe altogether, with its own principles and the gravity that it exists, and it maintains that, and we are proud of it. That we could even say that yes, whatever massacre happened in Orlando, it was wrong, and we could base that on our traditions and riwayat that this is not right. There are ahkam for it. We are not shy with the ahkam that is there, with what all of the evidence that they might be. But in terms of what has happened is wrong. But some of those who are doing tafaqquh in deen and they are opening the bab of ijtihad, they are saying something, na'uzubillah, good happened. That's wrong. This is their ijtihad. Right? But our fiqh doesn't allow us that. And we are proud of our fiqh really. Where we have answers for, test tube babies, where we have answer for surrogated mother, where we have answers for organ donation, based on the teachings of Ahlul Bayt and the Quran. That's what the mujtahid is doing. Yes, like I said, difference of opinion exists, that we need to know that. We need to have that understanding even and the respect of that as well. One misal, as we went for the demonstration today, really congratulations indeed, as a matter of fact, and tabreek and thumbs up for the Mu'min community that they came out there, the demonstration. Allah established Salatul Jummah there. We marched to the federal building. Our youth gave excellent speeches, and we tried to attend to the call of the oppressed ones. It was very hot. You know, you really feel like diving into a swimming pool. Now I realize that why really the rosa becomes batil when you immerse your head in the water, right? It just makes you had that feeling, I wish I could go and dip my head into the water, right? Right? That makes it batil. The fast becomes batil with that. And really, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept the speeches, the walk, the slogans, the volunteers who were spraying water, accommodating, guiding. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless them. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make them from the ashab and the companions of Imam Zaman. They attended to the call of the oppressed ones, those children in Gaza, in Syria, and other places that they are suffering, in Yemen. We really did something. Whatever the methodology, like I was mentioning, that we really got to sit and decide and discuss, the intellectuals, that what will be the best means and ways to really make that impact. This is what is there, maybe limited. At least we participated in it, with our sincere thoughts and ikhlas, and our intentions were pure. May Allah accept that, right? At least sitting in the house or sitting somewhere, we made an effort. May Allah accept it. So what I was saying, that, okay, it was hot, it was difficult. A 9-year-old girl, masalan, for example, is fasting. She also attending the march. It's very difficult for her. When I see my 9-year-old girls, I say, my God, these fast will be chare, especially the fast in England, 21 hours. They will be hungry and thirsty. I said, no way, man, this is too much for them, right? I'm being very practical here, not shying away from it. When I look at them playing with dolls and dollhouses, it's like 9 years. You have to listen to it. Yes, we listen. We will practice that. But we also see that Ayatollah Sanei, for example, he says 13-year-old. Oh, there's a room for it. We are not going outside the parameters of Sharia. So why not we execute that? We are not making a mock out of Sharia here, na'uzubillah. Don't take me wrong. If there is that leeway being provided within the ahkam, so this means that we got to be very careful. The point that I want to come here is that we got to be very careful when we are talking about ahkam. This is it. We become so rigid, Khoshk muqaddas, as they say, dry spirituality. Ahkam, it has to be like that. Wuzu, a person is doing wuzu, Baba is gone, Baba, rafte dike, velishkon, you know what I mean? But he's making sure the water goes everywhere, Baba. He's going to pull his hand out. Huh? Got to be very practical. The deen is not that. Deen is practicality. Deen, one must have that insight of deen. Imam Khomeini in France, they brought him the towel from the hotel. Wife said, mushrik, I don't know who washed it. So, Baba, velishkon, leave it, Baba. Leave. In India, Ayatollah Khamenei goes, they brought him the shoes and they gave it to him. Leather shoes. Oh, it's najis. Or if I'm there, I'll be like, okay. Khud amra jam mikonam dige. It's najis hai, fulan hai, Baba. I'm making demonstration here. The dog is over there. Oh, najis, miyad incha. He said, Baba. The dog is najis. The water will come. He says, leave it. Take it easy. Tafaqquh fi deen is not this. Having that profound understanding and insight and the purpose of this ahkam, what is there for. This ahkam is there to unite. It's an embodiment of that one will of Tawheed of God, not to disunite. Wilayat faqih, wilayat faqih, wilayat faqih. By the name of wilayat faqih, ikhtilafat. But wilayat faqih is there to unite everybody, not to have ikhtilaf. Oh, he doesn't believe in wilayat faqih. Oh, I will not pray behind him. What is this? No, pardon me, nonsense. Right? Maraje, wilayat faqih, ahkam, deen is there to bring everyone together and close to each other. Not that we create ikhtilaf with our, with what we are practicing. That's what tafakkur really means. Salat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. It says التفقه ثمن لكل غال وسلم إلى كل آل تحصيل علم بفهم والدرك بهايس. It's how shall I say, it's a great valuable thing to really have a knowledge with profound understanding. For everything which is valuable, there is a ladder for it, to really achieve that thing valuable. In another, he says, وَمَنْ يُؤْتِيَ الْحِكْمَةَ فَقَدْ أُوتِيَ خَيْرًا كَثِيرًا. As the verse says, that whoever Allah gives hikmat, wisdom, Allah have given him abundance good. خَيْرَ كَثِيرًا. Then they ask the Imam, what is hikmat? He says, إِنَّ الْحِكْمَةَ الْمَعْرِفَةَ وَالتَّفَقُّ فِي الدِّينِ. Hikmat is nothing but, wisdom is nothing but, ma'rifat, understanding, and tafaqquh, having that profound understanding of deen. That's what it is. So we have to educate ourselves as the time is getting near to, to our iftar. Practical ways, yes, we have to familiarize ourselves with ahkam. Maybe through a practical law book, reading it. Like I said, even if you open the Sahih Sajjadiyah and just read the Fihrist, will improve a lot of understanding, of Sahih Sajjadiyah and what dua is. And perhaps we can, as we have read the page of contents, we could sometimes even skim through or go through inside the dua and read few things, and it has a great effect on us and our soul, on our spirituality. So the same way ahkam as well, we have to really have the educate ourselves, read the practical laws that are there in a question answer format. Sometimes it is good, we, for example, even for us, although we are almost always dealing with these things, but we tend to forget. For example, only last night I was with Sayyid Shahid, Moulana Shahid in Dar Hussein, and Salatul Eid, Ahwat, and it is more, it's a precaution not to perform in Jamaat, but it is a practice that we perform all together. Ahwat, the ihtiyat is not to perform in Jamaat, meaning that everyone should perform furada. When we are praying behind the Imam, they should do the niyat of furada. We are doing it together. It's just like, for example, some of those prays like Jafar Tayyar. Sometimes we like to do Jafar Tayyar on the special nights. The Moulana might be reading Jafar Tayyar prayer, but I will be reading my own. Just to help me, I'm listening to him and repeating it. But the intention is furada. So the Salatul Eid is like that. Is mustahab. Some of the Maharaja says that because during the time of major occultation, when the Imam is there, it's wajib. Right? But majority of the Maharaja says as ahwat, it is much better, as a greater precaution to do it furada. Do your own intention and recite everything what the Imam. We have to know these things. We have to have the knowledge of it. I just go there and I stand. I don't know. Right? What am I doing? Inshallah, Allah might give us some sawab for it. But if I know I practice it, that is something else. With ma'rifat and with understanding. Inshallah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase in our tawfiqat, in our knowledge. Inshallah, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allahumma nawwir dhahiri bi ta'atik, wa batini bi muhabbatik, wa qalbi bi ma'rifatik, wa ruhi bi mushahidatik, wa sirr al-istighlali bi ittisali bi hadratik. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Apparently, we still got some time. Maybe I'll just point out to some of those du'as that we ask. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad wa waffiqni fid deen. We ask Allah that Allah gives us that profound understanding in our deen. Right? Wa habbibni ila al-muslimin. That He kind of makes us mahbub amongst the Muslimin. There's a relationship indeed here. A person who have tafaqquh, who is religious, who is have that profound understanding of deen, he will automatically, who is lovable by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the eyes of God. Someone who practice. Yes. Yes, about practically. Yes, there's this learning, Tawzul Masail, and looking at the Quran from that angle. Some of the verses which talks about ahkam. Tafaqquh is, like I said, is not only ahkam, but it is our belief system, our tawheed, our nabuwat, our imamat. What type of understanding we have in regards to our imamat. There are very subtle differences that exist among amongst us as well, in regards to the existence of an imam, them being masoom, in regards to them being that nur, them being that, that first thing that God have created is the nur of Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. And everything created from the nur of Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. How did that happen? What is Qiyamah? How is Qiyamah supposed to take place? What is death? What is barzakh? All of these things are there that we have to have a profound understanding of, right? And we found it's not like we are deprived of it. There are books on it. There are, on YouTube you might find some of the speeches of good scholars. There's a good series of lectures which was done a few years ago on life after death by Sheikh Bahmanpur, for example. Some of the tafasir of asatid, of teachers. It's online. We could really discipline is very important. Unfortunately, one of the things that we lack is discipline. We begin, but we kind of fades away. The month of Ramadan provides us with discipline, provides us with organizing. If it wasn't wajib, really, the fasting, we would have left. Maybe we'd fast for 3-4 days and it's just, it's good for spirituality. Like I said, asceticism is part and parcel of every religion. They have ascetic practices. If as fasting is an ascetic practice, right? We said, it's really good. There's so much faedah. It's so good for us. We would have started it. Maybe after 10 days, we said, okay, it's too much. But Allah, alhamdulillah, He made it wajib. And He made it such a wajib that if you miss one fast, you have to feed 60 or you have to fast 60 times. So we can't even think about it, So therefore, He has made it wajib. It gave us some sort of discipline. Look, citation of Quran. How much Allah encouraged us. That one verse is equivalent to finishing the whole Quran. We started, we will finish one juz every day. But as it wasn't really wajib, it faded away for many of us, right? And we try to catch up with it. If for example, one juz every day of Allah would have made it wajib, then our Quran would have been finished as well. But Allah is merciful. Out of His mercy, He said, okay, one verse, if you finish, is finished like as if whole Quran. But how great that person is. That young chap, that young lad is. That I know some who have already finished their one whole Quran. It's still 27, 26. Alhamdulillah, they finished their whole one Quran. They started their second. How lucky they are. How good they are. Well, if they can do it, they're 16-year-old. I know someone 16-year-old. If she can do it, 16-year-old, why am I 45, 46, 48, 50 years, 60 years? Why I can't? Right? What's the difference in them and us? What I mean? So, discipline. Nazm, as Amirul Mu'minin said, Nazm, organization, organizing our life. So, one of the practical ways of tafaqquh, educating ourselves in our deen, is that discipline and organizing ourselves and organizing our time. As Amirul Mu'minin says, organize yourself. When you organize yourself, there will be barakat in time. If we organize the time, then there will be barakat in time. If we don't organize Velo, if we just leave it, let it go, we will be running behind the time. Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Rahimallahu man qara al-Fatiha. Please recite Surah Fatiha for all marhumin, especially the marhumin of the brothers and sisters who are present here, the volunteers, especially those who were there in support of the oppressed ones against the oppressors, to voice their call against injustice for their marhumin, those who volunteered there, with a loud salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Ya Rahman. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen.